So of course we all know how important general maintenance is on our Bobcat machines, but at the same time we might want to save $1 on, our general maintenance items like our filters and such. Either that, or maybe it's just not convenient to get your filters from your dealer because it's 2 hours away or whatever the case may be. So what I found was a filter kit for one of our Bobcats online. It has 100% genuine Bobcat filters in there. What I found inside one of these boxes will absolutely blow you away. It's shocking. It's lying, cheating, stealing, and downright illegal. Let's take a look at what's inside this box. Let's take a look what we find in our filter box. Number one, we've got an original Bobcat 701-2303 engine oil filter. Now this filter is no longer available for Bobcat. They have updated the part number, so it questions me as to where are they getting these old filters? Bobcat's not making them anymore. We do have an original Bobcat 722-1934 inner air filter. Is that part number even right? I don't know, I'm gonna have to check on that. We've got a hydraulic filter. This hydraulic filter is all wrong. We'll look at that here in just a minute. Now this is actually, it wasn't in a box, but this is showing a Baldwin filter here on the bottom, if we can read that. However, Bobcat, we don't use this filter anymore, and I'll show you why here in just a minute. Let's see what else is in the box. Here we go. This is what I want to see. The original Bobcat 702-3589. We're no longer making this part number. When I say Bobcat's no longer making this part number, this was actually made by Fleet Guard. This is a NanoNet technology. We've got a newer, updated design. So I also, asked the question, where are they getting these filters? Because Bobcat has not authorized anyone to keep. I mean, maybe it's new old stock. I don't know. We'll open it up and take a look at it. Air filter, blue element. It doesn't look terrible. There's nothing on here to tell me. So we do have a label here with a part number, and I looked up that part number, and this shows to be a Wix filter, but there's no label or anything on here to be a Wix. So I'm wondering if this is even an original Wix. I mean, if this was a Wix air filter, I probably wouldn't have a problem with it, but the label just looks strange to me. I don't know. And then we've got another hydraulic filter that says Hi-Fi. I don't know what Hi-Fi is, but I don't know. It looks like a decent hydraulic filter, but I'm just not familiar with Hi-Fi filters. Okay. Air filter, I'm just not sure about. If they're going to provide me with an original Bobcat inner filter, why not an original Bobcat outer filter? So since I don't know what it is, it's just kind of hard for me to trust the filter. Let's get to the hydraulic filter real quick. This was the old part number. We don't use that anymore. We've got an updated cap, a different filter design. And the main reason is because these filters, they filter from the inside out, right? So all your trash and your debris goes into the hydraulic filter and it's caught in there. Now the problem with these old filters are down here on the bottom, this is the filter bypass valve or the high pressure. So let's just say your oil was real cold and your filter was clogged up and we didn't have good flow through it. So the pressure has to go somewhere, right? We don't want to explode the filter. So that's why they have a relief valve or a pressure release valve in there, and that opens up. But what's the problem, right? If we filter from the inside, but we also have a bypass on the inside, what's going to happen? When that bypass opens, all the dirty oil, all the contamination that's inside this filter shoots right out the bottom of that and back into your system. So that was a design flaw. I don't know how it passed so many engineering people and specs and everything, but that's actually scary, dangerous. But anyway, so now it's completely updated, so we don't even use this filter anymore, so that's not going to help you at all. Let's take a look at the inner air filter real quick. The box just doesn't feel right. So I've never seen a Bobcat inner air filter in a bag. But look, I mean the label, it's like spot. Let me grab an original here. Let me grab a couple original filters. We're going to concentrate on this fuel and air real quick. So the labels are a little different. This is original, straight from Bobcat. This is what's coming from the aftermarket people. I'm not really going to name names here, but my point is, anything you buy off aftermarket, well, we'll see why we got to be careful. So let's open up this one, and I've got probably 1,000 of these, and again, I've never seen one in a bag. So here's our original filter versus the one that they sent us. So the first thing I look for is, being that these are Fleetguard direct flow air filters, they all have, you know, markings on them to show which way the filter is supposed to be installed. I know it's probably kind of hard to see, but there's an arrow and it says flow. There's no markings on this filter at all. The other thing that we look for, well, the original part number is stamped in there. Maybe I'll try to get some different pictures of that and show you, but again, on this one, there's no stamps. But we're also looking for these little marks here. I'll try to get some pictures and show them, but what these are quality control. These are date stamps that are in the filter housing. There are no date stamps anywhere on this, and you can tell it just feels, it's a lot lighter, feels much cheaper. I mean, look, the O-ring is already starting to come apart, and that's brand new out of the box. Even down here on the bottom, the O-ring's coming off. Yeah, I don't know. What I can tell you is that they are trying to sell you an original Bobcat air filter. This is not a Bobcat air filter. 100% guarantee you that is a scam, that is a lie. I don't know, hell, it might work, but I wouldn't trust it in my machine. Absolutely not. You know, we're talking about $15,000, $20,000 engines. So yeah, just looking at an original Bobcat filter, we know that that is not by far even close to an original Bobcat air filter. All right, so we know that the air filter is garbage. The hydraulic filter is not going to help us at all. Fuel filter. All right, here's what we got. One of these came from the filter company, one of them came directly from Bobcat. Again, 702-3589, we don't use this part number. This is a new, original, old stock for me because I had some of these left over. Genuine Bobcat filter, as opposed to this one that, again, came in the filter kit. Let's go ahead and take a look at these side by side. So it is wrapped in plastic. Another thing is, I've never seen the Bobcat filter not come with foam on the filter. So wow, look at that. We look at these side by side. You can't, I mean, it's almost the exact same label, except it's not clear. That's a clear label. This right here looks like it's been Xeroxed to me. But side by side, it's an exact copy of the label. All right, so how do I know? How do I know this is not an original Bobcat filter? Well, again, let's open it up. I've done thousands of these filters. They're all the same. They all got the same markings on them. And then let's open up the original Bobcat fuel filter. All right, so the number one thing to look for, and all right, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. Someone actually pointed this out to me. I did not catch this, and man, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name, but I know it was someone through the channel that pointed this out to me. So we're going to start. Well, number one, we can tell the plastic's different. Little bit difference in the casting, or in the casting. But what we're looking for, you see this green dot right here on the fuel and water sensor? That green dot, that's a quality control mark that comes from Fleetguard when they manufacture these filters. I've never seen that mark on any of these aftermarket fuel filters. Not on there. Another thing that we can always count on from Fleetguard, time, date stamp. That's quality control. No time, no date stamp anywhere on this filter. And why is that important? Why do we care, right? You know, I've got another video where we cut these cheap Chinese filters open and we saw what was inside, because we had a lot of injectors going bad with people putting aftermarket filters on there, and that's what led me to look into these, and we cut them open. I'll leave a link to a video up here where you can go back and see that, what we actually find inside of here. And it's bad news. And I think that maybe, I don't know if that video caught on or something, but maybe people quit buying those. So now in order to sell these cheap old Chinese filters, it looks like they're printing out a Bobcat label and putting on there. I've already talked to Bobcat. No one's authorized to make these old style filters. And the reason Bobcat actually upgraded and went to the larger style filter housing was to handle more water and more filter area. And we've seen a huge decrease in the amount of injector failures we've had since we've upgraded to that new fuel filter. So this hasn't actually been available from Bobcat for a couple years. So yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Now, what I've got next is the Bobcat oil filter. Let me grab an original Bobcat oil filter. We can tell the boxes are different, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut these open and we're gonna take a look at what's inside of these. All right, so I went ahead and cut these Bobcat filters open, and it's pretty neat what we find. Okay, I know we got different part numbers here, but like I said, this 701-2303, this was the original part number for the Bobcat filter. They actually changed part numbers a couple years ago, and we've got a taller filter, but basically it's using the same media, the same filter element that we've always used. But man, if we look at these side by side, I mean, the markings are different, and it could be because it's a different part number, but no, it's just it's a different filter. I mean, it's all printed on the filter. Everything looks legit. It's a scam. It's downright damn scam, because look what we found inside. Can you tell me which one is a knockoff and which one is an original Bobcat? It's pretty easy, right? This cheap ass paper bottom of the barrel Walmart Fram filter element is opposed to a high quality synthetic filter media, which is inside the Bobcat oil filters. So, you know, I mean, I don't know how, it's just, it blows me away. I mean, I don't know what to say, except, you know, I do a lot of phone calls with people where we troubleshoot fuel systems. And the first thing I ask you is, and I've probably asked many of you, is what, are you running an original Bobcat fuel filter? And most of the times everyone says yes. Well, my next question is, where did you get that filter? And that's why, because they're selling these as original Bobcat filters. All of these, the fuel filter, the air filters, they got the labels, everything. I don't know, it blows me away how they just blatantly lie to you, scam you. I mean, this, okay, well, what's the big deal? What's the big deal that they're cheap filters? Well, whatever, you know, this oil filter might work. You're not getting the same quality of filtration you're getting out of this. The air filter, I don't know. Maybe this is a Wix filter. I haven't had time to test these. Maybe it's a decent filter. I don't know. What I do know for sure is that these aftermarket fuel filters absolutely do not have the filtration necessary to protect our fuel systems, and that's why a lot of these Doosan, the Delphi fuel systems are getting such a bad rap, because of the contamination. Then we're going to put a cheap filter on there, we're going to lose more injectors, and then, yeah, so it's just a rabbit hole that we can go down. So that's why you got to be careful with where you buy your stuff from. So if you can't get your filter kits, and I check the prices on these, and it's not far off from Bobcat, you know, because I know that's another big thing is pricing. But if you can't, you know, get it, or it's not convenient to get it from your dealer, go to shop.bobcat.com, and anything over a $100 order gets shipped straight to your door. And shopbobcat.com is just, it's an amazing thing. Nobody else is doing it. John Deere, Cat, nobody else has a system like this, but it makes it much easier and convenient for you to get the proper filters for your equipment. Have any questions? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you've seen this or if you've had any problems with any filters on your machines, or maybe you use these aftermarket filters and never had a problem with your machines. And maybe that's because you're either lucky or you're using a very good high quality fuel to begin with. So anyways, thanks for watching.